You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
On the PRO Media Network.
What's up? What's going on, fam? You're now tuned in to Ring Kings Boxing for the true fight fans. We're in the building. I'd like to give a big shout out to the Ring Kings family. We're up in this thing, man. Another installment of Ring Kings Boxing. I'm Big Q. Bringing in the show, and we also have our dog, Eddie Too Mean Johnson, turning it into the live stream. Too Mean, what's going on, bro?
What's good?
What's good? It's good. It's all good, my friend. Big ups to you on this installment of Ring Kings Boxing. Big ups to the family members for joining in on Ring Kings Boxing as we get going with this one, man. Big ups. So, a lot of stuff going on, man, on Ring Kings, man. Look like we kind of hearing a double going on here. We're going to have to get that fixed. You hear a double up there to me?
No, I don't hear no double.
Okay. It's just on my end, so we'll get that fixed. But anyway, on this edition of Ring Kings Boxing, we're going to cover the latest fight news. We're going to talk about the latest with, you look at Roy Jones, man, and to be honest with you, Roy Jones be doing this damn thing, man. So what we see from Roy is pretty simple, man. With him and Mike Tyson, they went to the exhibition. It was a huge success in terms of people wanting to see exactly what was going on, and we'll recap that thing. It's good to see some of them old schoolers, some of the old greats get in there and try to do their thug thing. So we'll recap that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones exhibition bout going the distance. We'll also talk about the Joyce and triple D fight, which is Daniel Dynamite Dubois, as he got an opportunity to take on against Joyce. And listen, man, Joyce, the juggernaut, is no joke, man. And he had something to say about Dubois Triple D Dynamite, man. Basically turned into a dud. We'll break it down. Also, speaking of duds, Daniel Jacobs took on Rosado. And you won't talk about dud fights, man. That was not what we were anticipating. And then, of course, also we'll talk about the Nate Robinson getting destroyed by Jake Paul, the YouTube sensation. He flattened Nate Robinson, letting him know this ain't no joke, man. Don't come in here with that bull. He flattened nasty Nate Robinson face down in the canvas, took him apart. We have it all. We'll cover all of that. We also have interviews from all post-game recaps from all those fights as we proceed to get ready in this Ring King. So hit the like button, share the link, and join Ring King. Subscribe to Ring King's Boxing for the serious fight fans. All right, starting to the first one, we got Daniel Dubois. Actually, I guess what we can do, we're going to start up with the Mike Tyson and lead with the top fight with Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. This was an interesting fight on so many levels, man, because a lot of people wanted to see what Mike Tyson had in the 50s, Roy Jones in his 50s. Roy Jones walking around like Fred Sanford in this fight, man. Walking around like he was Fred Sanford or some damn body in the fight. But both guys in their 50s, man, fighting in the Staples Center on Saturday. It was a good exhibition. Tyson Jones fought to an unofficial draw declared by the WBC by its street celebrity judges. They said it was a draw even though it wasn't a draw. Mike really won this fight. It was 8 2-minute rounds. Provided enough time for both men to get comfortable, and then you find a range, but enough time to make the action exciting while also providing a true risk of serious injury to either. And all it turned out to be a great showcase event for both. Fun. It was a fun seeing Mike and Roy dance around a bit as well in this fight. So to me, we knew the results was an unofficial draw between those guys, even though. I was looking at the fight, and from an eye perspective, even though Roy did some things, Mike Tyson, in my opinion, was the guy that actually won the fight. Roy did a lot to try to stay away from. He kind of tapped He did enough to keep Mike away from him so Mike don't dispatch him. But in my opinion, I think even though Roy was a little busy, I think Mike Tyson had more of the impact and actually won the exhibition. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, they both look good, man, for their age and for the time they've been out of the ring. So they look pretty good, man. They look better than most of the top 10 guys, man. It was a pretty entertaining fight. But Roy, he knew he was being smart, man. He fought the fight he's supposed to fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he know if he stood there long enough for Tyson to really start teeing off on him, it could have been a short night. So he did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? You'll say he kept, like I say, he ain't stayed stationary long enough for Tyson to really land something flush on him, man. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause he was being smart. So, but both of them look good, man. It was real inspiring, man, to see people. You'll see the two brothers, the two legends, man, fighting it. You know what I'm saying? Fighting, looking as good as they did in their 50s, man. You know what I'm saying? It was real inspiring to fight.
Yeah, I admit to you, big ups on that analysis to me, because the reality is that Mike Tyson spoke about what he needed to do to get in shape for this fight, and it wasn't easy, to be honest with you, when Iron Mike was basically laying out to people how much weight he had to drop to get in this fight. And of course, Mike hadn't fought in 16 years, and of course, Roy, I think the last time he fought was a few years ago before he ultimately retired. But Tyson looked like the busier fighter. But you're right, at 50 years old, 51 for Roy, and I think Tyson is 53 or 54. These guys went 8 rounds, 8 2-minute rounds. That's pretty good. And Tyson said that he wanted to keep going. And of course, Roy did say that based on how he felt after the fight that he might want to move in the direction. He did mention Anderson Silva and other people. But before we get into the rest of the breakdown on the Tyson Jones recap, let's hear what the guys had to say after the fight. Here's the
World Champions is a draw. Mr. Tyson, what do you think of that?
I'm good with that.
You think you won the fight?
Yeah, but I'm good with a draw.
Why?
Because I entertained the crowd. The crowd was happy with it.
We'll be back to you in a second. You happy with this draw?
Hell no, I ain't never satisfied with a draw. I wear draws. I don't do draws. I like it. But the dude is so strong, man. And I understand why they say some things are bucket list. Because when he hits you, if it's his head, his punches, his body shots, don't matter. Everything hurts. So for me, I thought I did enough boxing on the outside to edge it out. But, you know, I'm cool with a draw. I mean, we just might have to try to do it again. But I don't know.
You looked exhausted for a little while. Did the body shots take a toll?
The body shots definitely took a toll. The body shots are what make you exhausted. Any good fighter knows that. And I knew it too. I thought I had a 6-pack that was all right, but I guess I'm going to have to give me a 12-pack because this 6 ain't getting it.
You took it. It came back like nothing. You took it. You took it. I knew I hit you with a good shot. You took it. You took it.
I'm a game roofer.
I respect that. I respect that.
Mike, at age 54, you haven't been in the ring for 15 years. How would you assess your performance, your stamina, and overall how you performed?
Well, I'm used to doing it for 3 minutes, and sometimes that 2 minutes felt like 3 minutes. And I'm just happy I got this under my belt, and I'm continuing to go further and do more.
You'll do this again?
Absolutely. And he's going to be on the card as well.
Well, let me ask you about your performance. What was it like for you to be in the ring as compared to what it was when you left as a professional?
I was very happy to be here, and despite
your performance-wise.
Yeah, despite what anybody said, I was so happy to go to 8 rounds. But everybody knows I can knock somebody out, but everybody don't know I can go to 8 rounds and 10 rounds, and that's what I'm more grateful for now than anything. And no knockers. Knockers don't mean nothing. You got to be able to go the distance. That's fighting.
Everybody has a plan until they get hit. Yeah. You got hit, and how did it affect you?
I went to plan B. I hit him back.
Roy, you want to continue this now at age 51, or did you get dissatisfied at this point?
Man, it's hard to say. My Pensacola fans love me.
No, we got to do this shit again. We got to do this again.
Everybody loves Mike. I love Mike too. But, you know, it's something to take them punches in there from Mike. So, you know, I go talk to my family, see how they feel about it. If they thought they enjoyed what they saw, then if we want to do it again, we'll come back and do it again. But, you know, me, like I said, Pensacola in the house. I want to thank everybody who helped me out. Big Al, Tom, Wap, Russ, everybody on my team, Jim Foster. I mean, so many people, everybody in Pensacola in the house still. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank the whole world for tuning in, especially my Russian citizens, my Russian people. I want to say thank to everybody who gave us the homage, sent us out the right way. And if everything goes well, like I said, and the family's cool with it, then
a lot of people were afraid, Roy, you might get hurt tonight. Were you really afraid in the back of your head that something could happen that might have put you in peril?
I was afraid I might get hurt. I didn't fight in 20 years. He only stopped fighting for 3 years. I'm afraid I might get. Why nobody care about my ass?
Well, that's typical, right?
He been fighting 15 years. He stopped fighting 3 years ago, and everybody worrying about his ass.
Nobody thinks that a giant is going to fall.
I haven't did this in 15, 16 years. I'm not a giant. I'm a beginner.
Did he ever hurt you tonight?
Well, listen, he surprised me with the hook. He hit me with a hook, a good hook.
Hurt.
Yes, it did hurt.
And back to the question, were you afraid of being in peril?
Man, once I go in there, it's all balls to the wall, bro. I mean, I feel the shots, and I know they're going to hurt, and I know he could take me out if it's possible if he came with the wrong one. But for me, man, I'm game. I go to the end. When I put these on, it's a wrap. Take me on the stretcher, you know?
Final thought. Would you do this in a non-exhibition circumstance if you could get a license?
No, I'm just going to do this. This is bigger than fighting for, winning the championship. We're humanitarians. We're helping people. That's bigger. I'm into that now. And I like
Mike Tyson's thought on the fight. Also, Roy Jones, man. Big ups to those brothers. Taking us back, man, and watching two 50-year-old legends go at it. Roy Jones, man, he did what he could do to stay out of the way of Tyson. Ultimately ended in a draw. Both guys got belts like you see in the thumbnail. And it's a happy fight, to be honest with you, too, man. It was good to see Mike and Roy go at it, and they had a lot of other stuff going on as well. And underneath the undercard with Jake Paul, he showed some serious power in his hands when he scored a vicious knockout of former NBA star Nate Robinson in the second round. Paul dropped Robinson twice before leaving him out cold on the canvas with a brutal right hook. He's a YouTube sensation who's now 2-0 as a pro with a pair of knockouts. The former lightweight heavyweight champion Badu Jack dismantled Blake McKernan in the feature bout with some nasty body work as well. And, of course, you've seen performances by several big-time music artists, including Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg, French Montana, and others. So it was an interesting night of how it was put together. A very entertaining fight with Roy Jones as well. And, of course, the big, mean knockout of Nate Robinson brought on by Jake Paul. He had these things to say after the fight.
His his basketball career has been amazing, and I don't want to take anything away from him. It takes a lot of balls to step in the ring. Not a lot of people can do that, and this means a lot to me. It just feels good to win.
You've trained for this, and this is what you want to do for a living. This is his first fight, and even though it's only your second fight, there seemed to be a big experience difference here tonight. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been training my ass off, like, for the past year. I'm taking this seriously. There's a long list of opponents that I want. Conor McGregor, Dylan Dennis. I'm going to knock them both out.
That's what you want to do next?
There's my brother. There's KSI on the line. Austin McBroom. I want to be in this sport for a long time, and I'm in love with it, so why not?
What made you decide that this is what you want to do?
For me, my whole life has been a fight. And so fighting, it's something I'm great at. Being from Ohio, a small town, and making my way out to Los Angeles to fame and success, and just fighting for everything. And people never believing in me, people hating me, being one of the most hated people in the world. I have to fight through that. It's not easy. And so for me, this is a perfect sport. I found my lane. Just 4 weeks ago, I was meditating, fell flat on my face, broke my nose, and we weren't able to spar until a couple days ago. So I had to come into this fight with a broken nose. So this
How did you fall on your face meditating?
I passed out. I was like, and I passed out on the concrete. It's on camera, boxing. I have a boxing documentary coming soon. So stay tuned for that. But now it's time to focus on my music. Park South Freestyle out now. Music video, go crazy.
Last thought here. Are you willing to be patient with this? I mean, you're a guy who has so much popularity. It's instant fame. You've catapulted. Are you willing to be patient with a boxing career? Because you can't do this overnight.
100%. I'm willing to be patient. I'm only 23 years old. Deontay Wilder started boxing when he was like 21. So I have a long future ahead, and I'm just getting started. And I talk a lot of shit, but I back it up.
Yeah, he thought he could play boxing like he played football and basketball. He realized that ain't no something you don't play, man. Boxing. You know what I'm saying, you definitely you got to be prepared all across the board. You step your ass in that ring. You know what I'm saying? I guess he realized that he had to learn that the hard way. But you know what I'm saying? Jake Paul, that's his name, right? Yeah, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, he got some good people behind him. You know what I'm saying? Guide him rightly until he get his, you know what I'm saying, until he's prepared all across the board. Because he might get in the ring with somebody, you know what I'm saying, do the same thing to him. You know what I'm saying? Let him know how serious this shit is, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Oh, I know you won, but I've got to ask Daniel about the ending. What happened, Daniel, in that 10th round? What happened 30 seconds in?
You know, it was, what can I say? He caught me with a good jab, and his jab was pretty accurate. And, you know, I couldn't see out of the eye, and I didn't want, you know, it just happens, man. I can't explain it. It was just, you know, at the moment, and I just pinged it, and, you know, I couldn't see out of it. I was trying my best, and, you know, it happened.
And Joe, what did you think when you saw Daniel back away, touch the eye and take the knee? What thought went through your head?
Well, I was glad it was over.
The both of you, and I've got to congratulate you, because I mean, people will be at home now and they'll be applauding, they'll be watching it back. You've taken part in something incredibly special here tonight. Daniel, you got caught with the very first punch of the fight, a big jab after 5 or 6 seconds, and I saw your body go then. Was that the hardest you've been hit, do you think?
I've been hit hard, you know, but it was position maybe, you know, on the eye and just the way it hit me. But, you know, I'm a tough guy. I'll come again for sure.
And Joe, you had to come through an incredible amount of pressure. The sort of punches that have left men, you know, flashed all over the canvas. You took them. Were you ever in danger? Were you ever hurt?
No, I've taken some big shots, and respect to Daniel. He's got some power, and he's young, he's fresh, and he's hungry, and he can come again. But I've felt power like that before, and with my experience, I've learned to ride it and come back, and I'm blessed with a good chin, so I can keep going and keep moving forward. And I was kind of, you know, I felt his power, and I was happy to take it, if you know what I mean.
I do.
But preferably not take it.
That's a Joyce's, and that's the way you do your business. Daniel, going into the 10th round now, okay, most people seem to have it like this. One judge had you, one judge had Joe, another judge was really tight. How did you have it, Dan? As you got up for the 10th round, your eyes closed, how did you have it?
I didn't know, honestly. I didn't know. I was just fighting. Trying to figure out a way I can break him down and get inside and, you know, let my shots work. But
were you surprised at some of the punches he took? I know Joe says he's got a good chin, but you caught him flush, perfect shots. Round 3, round 6, round 7.
No, he rode the punches well. I was probably a bit trigger happy, but, you know, I need to be smarter and just, you know, pace myself and maybe a bit more.
That's the fighters, Joyce and Daniel Dubois. Let me tell you something. That's an understatement. We had to be a technical issue, family, but that was the setup for the Dubois and Joyce interview right there. And pretty much how the fight worked out was the fact that these two heavyweights, although they were British, this was a fantastic fight, man. I got to say. And, of course, what happened was he was beating Daniel Dubois. Dynamite Dubois was beaten in the 10th round. There was a stoppage in the 10th because of what Joyce, the Juggernaut, was doing. He was working behind the jab while moving away from the right hand of Daniel Dubois. And you have to give him, he gave Daniel a boxing lesson. He couldn't slip the jab too mean. He couldn't get away from that. And ultimately, it went 10 rounds, and he took 10 rounds of punishment to his face. His face was swelling. And then pretty much after the fight, they found out that Daniel Dubois suffered a broken eye socket and nerve damage in that eye. And listen, this was something else, but the British title, the Joyce is now the British title, Joyce's Commonwealth crown and the vacant European belt are now in the hands of Joyce, who had a splendid fight. You guys just heard him. And like I said, this has been released by The Athletic along with the Evening Standard that are saying that after that 10-round bout, Daniel Dubois has suffered a broken eye socket and nerve damage. Damn. The Juggernaut hitting hard, man, and Daniel was taking it. And ultimately, when that 10th round came around to me, he just took a knee. And people was like, whoa, why is he taking a knee? But he realized something was going on wrong with that eye. He took a knee immediately. So what you seen the fight to me, what's your thought process on Dynamite Dubois getting blown up by the Juggernaut Joyce?
Yeah, the jab was the key. You know what I'm saying? He was he was working off the jab. And once you get that jab established, man, that's a good offense and defense. And like I say, that it's used to set punches up. You know what I'm saying? So he couldn't make the adjustment. And you know what I'm saying? He just kept getting hit with that jab, and it swelled him up. And he couldn't see the punches coming. And, you know what I'm saying? When you don't see them coming, they hurt even more. So he couldn't make the adjustment. So he got to go back to the drawing board and learn how to slip that jab. And you know what I'm saying? I think he need to work on his speed too, because you know what I'm saying, his hands are real slow. So people can, you know what I'm saying, it's easy for people to get out of the way of his punches because they don't really come fast like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
he go back to the drawing board and work on everything that he did wrong in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Keep an open mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? It can make him better. It can make him or break him. So hopefully his damage, you know, his damage that he suffered, his nerve damage and stuff in his eyes, broken eye socket, he can come back from that. Some dudes don't be the same, like Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? People use that as an excuse, like that Kell Brook's eye was, you know what I'm saying, wasn't fully healed. I said, but they ain't taking skill away. So they try to, you know what I'm saying, they try to do anything to discredit Terrence Crawford. But Dubois, whatever his name, you know what I'm saying, he can come back, man. He's got, say, keep an open mind, look at the tape, and look at everything he done wrong. You know what I'm saying, and go back to the gym and work on everything that he need to work on. You know what I'm saying, prepare yourself all across the board. So, you know what I'm saying, so nobody will have that blueprint, you know what I'm saying, to deal with him, like, you know what I'm saying, like the Joe Joyce did. You know what I'm saying, like, okay, I can make adjustments. Go back to the drawing board and work on what you need to work on. Come back.
Yeah, that's what it's going to come down to. And I think once he heals up and comes back, this fight against the Juggernaut it's by far his most difficult fight of his young career. He was ascending. He brutalized pretty much most of the foes who couldn't keep him off him. But the difference was Joe Joyce gave him a boxing lesson. He used his length, his length, his reach to keep Dubois, who needs to work inside. He knew that, broke him down, kept him away from him, steady, was patient, worked behind the stiff jab, and then comboed him when he need to. And not only that, but it was several times he took really hard blows from Daniel Dubois. He took it and kept it moving. And, of course, he rolled with the punches. And remember, he was cycling away from the dangerous right hand of Daniel Dubois. So Joe Joyce basically gave the people or his opponents a way to beat Daniel Dubois. And like you said, he will have to go back to the drawing board, learn how to slip that jab, incorporate more head movement, and several other features to improve upon his game. And when he does that, like you say, you have to work. He kind of telegraphs his punches a bit, not because, you know, that's what he's doing. He just has that slow hand speed, which he'll have problem with elite level fighters who can see that coming and adjust to it. So to me, really solid analysis on Dubois moving ahead. So his career is still bright. He's going to take this one to heart. He's a champion. This kid is going to clean up the game and keep going. And big ups to Joe Joyce, the Juggernaut, as he ascends into the top 10. He'll get into the top 10. And this guy here is a really good fighter, knows how to fight. And I would love to see Joe Joyce take on some of the top 10 heavyweights. They can't deny him now. He's on the move. All right, let's move to our final breakdown for the rest of the show. And this deals with Danny Jacobs as he edges out Rosado in a dull split decision. Very uneventful fight. Really, I'm I'm very dissatisfied with the fight that Danny Jacobs fought against Gabe Rosado. Coming into this fight, you had the two-time middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs, Miracle Man, 37-1 with 30 knockouts. He won they call it a technical 12-round split decision over Gabe Rosado, who's 25-13-1 with 14 knockouts in a super middleweight clash on Friday night at the Hard Rock. But what's interesting about this fight is some seriously had hard feelings were expressed in the build-up between the two. But when it came to it, nothing really happened. This one scores were 115-113, Rosado 115-113, and 115-113 to Jacobs. If you watch the fight, to me, it seems a lot closer than that. And ultimately, I thought Rosado should have won the fight. And then toward the back end of them announcing it, they made a mistake announcing who the winner was because they knew in their minds it should have been Rosado, in my opinion. I watched the fight. Danny Jacobs should have got this guy out of here. He wasn't. He basically floated through this fight. I was this was a very, very boring and uneventful, dull-ass exhibition bout by Jacobs. My criticism and critique of Daniel Jacobs has always been he's the fighter that just doesn't have it. It's something about him. He lacks the it factor. He's a good fighter, that's true. But he lacks the it factor that it takes in this fight. He had a fighter that was a tough fighter, but this guy lost 13 fights. I mean, he's 25-13. He has a serious amount of issues. You can get him out of here. And Danny Jacobs didn't close the gap and didn't get this dude up out of here. Now, in the clash for the IBF Intercontinental Welterweight title in 2016, Rio Olympic gold medalist Yazimov, who was 10-0, made quick work of former unified 140-pound champ Julius Ndongo, who's 23-3 with 12 knockouts. And that's also another one. Ndongo in the first round, he knocked him out again. In the second round, Ndongo didn't wish to continue after the second knockout at 124. But sticking back to Jacobs, really interesting fight. Was not eventful in my book. I thought the fight should have been given to Rosado, to be honest with you, but they ultimately ended up giving it to Danny Jacobs. It was a boring-ass fight. You can stomach and try to watch it if you want. It was totally dull, man. Really sad. Didn't like it at all. If I paid money, I'd be damn sure demanding my money back. Let's hear the post-game breakdown from Danny Jacobs and why he was so goddamn boring. Then we're going to get Too Mean to chime in on this final news item. Here we go.
Let's hear now from the winner of this fight, the Miracle Man with Chris Mannix.
Well, Daniel, congratulations. Little confusion there at the end of who won the fight when it was announced from Philadelphia at first, but you get the win, you get the decision. What did you think of your performance?
I don't think I get the best performance. I thought I could have did a little bit better.
You damn sure could have.
It was a little weird, no fans, nothing to really pump you up, but it's my fault. We had a great camp, and I obviously didn't show everything that I needed to. And my corner was obviously instructing me from the corner, but I guess I was looking for shots to load up. I was looking for the right hand. I seen it was susceptible every time he would go down. I would land it right, so I guess I got right hand happy. But I should have formulated the game plan and stuck to it. But I lived to see another day. Got a split decision. I mean, he's a game opponent. I didn't think it was that close by far. But at the same time, I guess me being a little stagnant makes it a sore decision. So
I think a lot of people, because of the trash talk leading up to this fight, expected more of a firefight in there tonight. You weren't really interested in doing that early on. What was the thinking there?
Well, just to fill him out, see what kind of game plan he was going for. At the same time, in the beginning, I wanted to pop my jab and get acclimated, get my rock star on and moving and getting, just loose. And at the same time, I guess I let rounds slip through the bag. In the judge's opinion, obviously it was closer than what I anticipated, but I had a good communication with my corner in between rounds, and it was letting me know that I was winning rounds. So I guess I got to go back to the tape, go back to the drawing boards, and apply a better effort next time around.
You mentioned.
Come on, Danny. You 37. All these fights that you had, man. This was a ridiculous garbage fight, man. I mean, this guy, and listen, in my opinion, Danny Jacobs is farly superior than Gabe Rosado. Farly superior. But the type of fight he fought in the corner telling him that he was around winning rounds was this is ridiculous. He wasn't winning shit. Rosado made it interesting because he was floating around and he wasn't finishing Rosado. I don't know what the hell he was doing. And of course, obviously, you heard him apologize to the fans. And like Too Mean and me joked about in the pre-fight show that maybe he should give everybody the goddamn money back. I ain't pay nothing to watch him fight. And I'm glad I didn't pay him nothing to watch because I would have been upset because this was pathetic, man. This was an ugly, garbage time fight. Danny Jacobs could have knocked this dude out. He didn't press him. He danced around. And like he said himself, let rounds slip through the bag. Ugly, boring-ass fight. Too Mean, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, I think, be professional, man. Professionals have no excuses. They show up and they show out. That's what you're supposed to do as a professional. You're getting paid all this money. So you got to bring bring your best. Entertain the people, get the people their money's worth. If you don't, fans should not support them. If you're going to bring your whole A game, stay your ass home. Simple as that, man. People, it's hard. People, spending their hard-earned money, man. What you could do is bring your A game every time. You want people to support you. I like the fact that, they marketing him that he, he beat cancer. They call him the Miracle Man.
Mm-hmm.
That's very inspirational. But still, at the same time, you beat it. Now, you got to bring your A game, man. Don't make no excuses and shit. Giving people half-ass shit, man. what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's no disrespect to him. You know what I'm saying? Just bring your A. You know what I'm saying? Be on your shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Give people their money's worth.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely, 100% right on that too, man. It was pathetic, man. I mean, and I usually like I like Danny Jacobs. I think he's a hell of a hell of a fighter. The issue with Danny Jacobs has always been he's lacking something. That's what my thought was. And he, of course, he did win a couple of times. He held the belt 2 times, you know, but he wasn't able to hold that sumbitch. You know, he wasn't able to keep it attached to him. And issues, like I said in this fight, is winning fights like this. It was just an ugly fight. He should have dominated this dude. He kind of played and lost the fight. I don't know why his corner lying to him, telling him that he went in rounds and all this. But it was a not good fight. Let's just put it to you like that. He snuck out of there with that one there. And it don't help his cred in terms of, you know, landing up the next fights. And if that's what kind of effort that he gave to a guy like Gabe Rosado, who's holding 13 losses, he don't stand a bat's chance in hell against Charlo. Now, of course, he'll come ready for him, but listen, Charlo's hungry, and Danny Jacobs going to want to stay away from that Charlo if you know what's best for you. You thinking you had your little shine on and all that kind of stuff, but don't even go there if you thinking that's the best you could do a Rosado, man. Come on with it, man. Every fight should be, you're a champion. You fight like a champion every goddamn fight, man. But anyway, that's going to do it for Ring Kings Boxing on this episode. Coming up on the next edition of Ring Kings Boxing, coming up Wednesday, we will delve into the Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia matchup, as that's set to happen this weekend. It's going down. We'll have several other fight news, notes, and comments to speak on as well. And man, let me tell you, December is on the way. November is becoming an old man with a long beard. And listen, 1 month to go after this December turns, we have 1 month to go before 2020 is out of here. A very turmoil-filled, uncertain, really hellish year 2020 has turned out to be. A lot of people are just looking forward to being over. But listen, 2021, we'll see how that lining up as well. So to me, the Jones-Tyson fight was a good little look in the past. It was really a good fight. The Joyce and Dubois fight was a really good fight between two really skilled heavyweights. I enjoyed that, seeing those two guys going. But 2 for 3 is not bad, bro. We got a interesting exhibition between Roy and Mike, and of course we got a good fight between the heavyweights and Dubois and the juggernaut Joe Joyce, and of course with Danny Jacobs, the Miracle Man, and Gabe Rosado. It just didn't happen to be worth anything, but 2 for 3 ain't bad. We still ahead of the curve.
Oh yeah, but I like the idea that with this Legends only league that Tyson came up with.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the way that like a lot of these fighters that be going broke, you know what I'm saying, for the lack of financial education, for them to start earning money again, man. I think Tyson's on to something. Start a Legends only league, like like he's doing now. You know what I'm saying, let a lot of these old school cats come out, get in shape, man, and put on a good show, man. You know what I'm saying? So earn money and stuff like that.
Well, that's going to do it for the fight tonight, man. I appreciate all the family members joining us. That is a good thing, Eddie. Jim Gray asked him would he want the WBC to sanction it. He said, no, he's going to keep it right it is. No, you don't have to let them get into your pockets. Keep it all to yourself. And see, that's the thing. Always trying to push you into the pocket. Keep that independent, unindependent, whatever you want to call it. Keep it strong, man. Make all 100% of your money. You don't have to get sanctioned from them, who the hell they are. But anyway, that'll do it for Ring Kings Boxing episode. This way, as we recap Jones, Tyson, Gabe Rosado, Danny Jacobs, Daniel Dubois, and Joe Joyce, among Nate Robinson and Jake Paul fight. We'll see you later. Peace.
You're now listening to the Ring Kings Boxing on the PRO Media Network.
What's up, sports world? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Post Game Report, and others, if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share.